about to be crowned the Easter Bunny.
Look, Dad, I want to drum in a band. I want to see the world.
Maybe the Easter Bunny sees every country in one night.
Oh, really, Dad? What about China?
What? No! It's candy, woman! All right, so we haven't cracked China yet.
Don't want to be the Easter Bunny.
4,000 years of tradition doesn't end just because one selfish bunny doesn't feel like doing it.
My dad's right. I do need to get my act together. In Hollywood. All great artists suffer before they become famous. That lady wrote Harry Potter in a ditch. I have the talent, I have the drive, I have to avoid whatever that was.
Happy Easter, everybody. And today I'll be talking about a certain Easter movie. Oh, great. So today I'm going to be talking about Hop. Now, I saw this movie back when it came out in the theaters. I saw it in theaters. And this movie is, it's done by Illumination Animation, who, they've done, the Despicable Me films, which I kind of lost interest in that series after 2. And then I saw the first Minions movie, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, really? Like, I'm done. They've done, like, Secret Life of Pets, which I've only saw the first one. The first one was okay. Personally, I think Sing is their best movie. But that's just me. So this is their first movie that they blended animation with live action. Now, a ton of movies have done this, but this one in particular, they looked at it and went, there's really no Easter movie about an Easter bunny that the entire family can watch, other than the Charlie Brown Easter special or anything like that. Nothing came out like this at the time where they're like, let's make an actual Easter movie for the entire family to watch. Okay. But how are they going to do that? By going the lazy and tired old gags that we've seen a million times. And, I mean, even when I was a kid and I saw this movie, back when it came out in theaters, I was kind of bored through it. And, I was a little kid, and their main target audience was for little kids. And, I just, over the years, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this movie kind of existed. So the concept of this movie is about E.B., voiced by Russell Brand, and he's being brought up to be the next Easter Bunny because it's like a generation kind of thing where it's like each generation will be the next Easter Bunny. He his dad keeps coming to him saying yeah, I want you to be the Easter Bunny. It's your destiny. It's in your blood. It's hereditary. And E.B. is just like, I don't want to do that. I want to be in a band. I can play the drums. And and his dad is just like, let's, just think about it. Meanwhile, he's like, oh, get off my back, man. Let me be me. Kind of gives him that little sass. Over exaggerating, but he gives him that sass. To then he just, pops in a portal and leaves Easter Island and goes right to Hollywood. And that's when he runs into this guy named Fred O'Hare. Get it? O'Hare? Oh, my God. One of the lame jokes. Who's played by James Marsden, who, I like some of the stuff he's in. I think he's a great Cyclops in X-Men. He was really good in Westworld. But, his character, he's kind of he fails at getting jobs and, really isn't charismatic. So, kind of a loser. And so E.B. runs into him and it becomes kind of like a buddy friendship movie where EB is helping, or Fred is helping EB become a drummer, while EB is helping Fred become the first human Easter Bunny. Now, let me get the positives out the way first. The animation, like the kind of CGI, okay. I like the way it like blends in with live action. I think they do a pretty good job at it. You know, and I think you know, while it's kind of a CGI like mess, or like not necessarily a mess, but more like they overuse CGI a lot. Like the whole factory of like the Easter Bunny workshop, I think looks nice. I can't really tell if that was a set, but the problem is that if it was a set, you know, they still used a ton of CGI, so maybe they used a floor and then just like one of those like 360 green screens, maybe. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. But you know, it's kind of an overuse of CGI, and yeah, oh my God. This movie, I think, falls into the lazy kiddie movie syndrome, where it's we'll take a CGI character, pop them in the real world, or send them either to California, or worst of all, New York. You know, like what Tom and Jerry the movie did, or the Smurfs did, and those were terrible. And let's have some cameos by some people, and let's also push all these pop songs on these kids. It falls into that same template, where it's like, we'll take a character, drop them in New York, or drop them in California, drop them in the United States, or something like that. Where with this, I think this one works better, because the whole like plot of the Easter Bunny is, you know, the Easter Bunny goes out and, you know, delivers Easter baskets to kids. So he has to travel. Okay, that makes more sense than with like Tom and Jerry, where they're just in New York because let's set it in New York. Or the Smurfs, like, let's, you know, it takes place in New York, and let's have them go to, you know, let's have them do this, let's have them go here, you know, let's have them do this, this, and this, and this, and this, because why? We want money, and, you know, it's mindless entertainment for kids. This one, I don't necessarily think it falls into that same template as those movies do, but this was, I think, kind of the start to when that happened, because this came before Tom and Jerry the movie. It came, I think a couple years before the Smurfs movie did, and I saw the Smurfs and I just went, yeah, this is, I don't know what this is. Or with this, it does a better job than those movies, but not by much, because, EB was just kind of like, I'm looking out for myself kind of thing, and didn't really care to like have full on like interactions. And he's also a bit of a jerk, and doesn't really change that until it's too late. While Fred, or James Marsden, he was just a bumbling idiot the whole movie, and I'm just like, what are you doing? You know good scripts. I think this is a paycheck. So yeah, and like a lot of like the side characters, like you have Hank Azaria voicing the Easter Bunny's kind of assistant, where he wants to be the Easter Bunny himself and be the first Easter chick. And the problem is that whole plot line right there felt so much like Despicable Me, where you have a villain who's surrounded by like little minions of his. I'm like, oh God, you're just copying your old stuff. Can you do something new, please? So this, I don't know. It's not as bad as it's not as bad as I would say the Smurfs or Tom and Jerry, where they were just like, we're going to just use we're going to use that template and just plaster these characters on there and not think of anything creative. Here, they do that kind of, but I see what they're going for it. And like I said, the CGI, well, it looks better, doesn't look as good as maybe stuff does now, but, the interactions with it being in live action, I think work quite well. And, I think I got like one chuckle out of this movie, where with the Smurfs and Tom and Jerry, I just went, like, oh my God. So with all that, with all my complaining and, with all that, this comes out to be fine. It's definitely a movie for if you want to watch it on Easter. I would say if you have maybe like littler kids, where, it's more like they're watching it for the visuals than the story, where I would just stay away from the Smurfs or Tom and Jerry, where it's just like, that is just solely for like 2-year-olds. And this is stupid, but I think this is okay. Like, it's nothing, like I said, when I saw this back when it came out in theaters, and like a couple years later, I completely forgot about it. And yeah, somebody brought it up to me again. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot that movie existed. Oh well. So yeah. But yeah, overall, it's not horrible. It's not good. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It's something where you watch it, and then once it's over, you're going to be like, okay, like it's come and gone. But, I would say it is a movie you can watch on Easter, and, it shouldn't really have a whole lot of, bad moments with it, with a ton of other movies where you'll just moan. This is just like all right, it's come and gone, but, it's a good Easter movie.
Stop! Stop!
I didn't like it. I loved it.
Look at this. Look how cute this stuffed bunny is.
Aw.
Oh, he's so soft and cute and cuddly and warm.
Is she seeing anyone?
No, she's single and she's looking for a rabbit.